Hello everyone, Rider Rated 18 coming back at you with another video. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a video about DVD. Now as you can see behind me there are plenty of DVDs still on the shelf. Now I know there's a lot of collectors out there that don't really collect DVD anymore, they don't really buy DVD anymore. But there's a reason why a lot of them are still up there, because there are plenty of films in this country that still haven't been released on Blu-ray or even 4K yet. And that's the reason why some of these DVDs are still here, because there is just no UK Blu-ray or no UK 4K. I am fully aware that the titles I'm going to discuss here are probably available on Blu-ray and 4K in other countries. I'm fully aware of that, but I'm primarily talking about the UK market because I live in the UK. I mainly buy UK discs. I sometimes import, but not very often. I primarily buy UK discs. And here are 10 films I'm going to mention that I've still got on DVD that are literally crying out for a much better release. I don't think I think just a lot of these need an upgrade. They really need an upgrade. It depends on who owns the rights to them, distribution rights, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And I'm pretty sure once I finish this video, one of these might get released. But it's important to talk about the films themselves because, like I said, there's a lot to enjoy here. And I just feel these 10 films that I'm going to show you here deserve an upgrade. So the first one we're going to talk about is Armed and Dangerous, starring John Candy and Eugene Levy, and also Meg Ryan. This is one of my favourite comedies of the 80s. It is truly fantastic. It is John Candy and Eugene Levy, who are down on their luck people who have to take a job at guard dog security, and they come across a conspiracy and they realise that the company they're working for might be a bit dirty and they have to find out what's going on. And what ensues is a lot of comedy, a lot of good action, and it's just a real fun 80s film that mixes comedy and action very, very well. It's also directed by Mark L. Lester, who directed Commando, and it's also written by, just let me confirm this, yes, it's written by Harold Ramis, who was in Ghostbusters. So you've got a lot of good people behind the scenes and some good actors on the front of the screen. And it's just a shame that there's just no Blu-ray for this, and this DVD is a bare bones release. I mean, the picture's fine, but it could really do with a special edition upgrade, and I think as far as I know, it's still owned by Sony, so I don't know who controls their distribution at the moment. But this is one John Candy film that deserves at least some more love, and more people need to see it. And if you haven't yet seen Armed and Dangerous, I highly recommend it. It's one of John Candy's best, and it's personally my favourite of his films. He's done some really good corkers over the years, but Armed and Dangerous is my favourite John Candy film. So yeah, Armed and Dangerous needs an upgrade. Now the next one we're going to talk about is Black Rain from 1989, starring Michael Douglas and directed by Ridley Scott. Now, I love this movie. I've watched it so many times. It's a very solid action thriller from the late 80s. A lot of it's filmed in Japan. And for whatever reason, no UK Blu-ray. It's been available, as I said, in other territories on that format, but we're stuck with this UK DVD. And unfortunately, the transfer on this is absolutely terrible. It looks really bad. Now, it's not down to the fact that DVD is a bad format. Far from it. It's just the fact that the print on this DVD is terrible. I don't know where they got it from. I know there are sort of HD prints out there for downloads, and I mean, even the Laserdisc I've got of Black Rain looks slightly better than this, which is really saying something. And the fact that, again, there's no bonus features on this, and you've got a pretty piss-poor picture, it's a real shame. I mean, because it's a great film. And the fact that this is directed by Ridley Scott, Japan looks fantastic in so many shots in this. The action scenes are well done. The music by, who did the music? Is it Hans Zimmer? I think it is, yeah. It's a really, really solid film. But the fact is, it's stuck on a DVD. And like I said, I'll keep this until the end of time. But until then, I'm stuck with a sort of, bare bones release, with a great film on it, but sadly, not a very good release, and it needs an upgrade. Now, the next film is another one from the 80s, and we're talking about Blue Jean Cop, starring Sam Elliott and Peter Weller. Although in other territories, this is known as Shakedown, and it's another 80s cop thriller that's got some fantastic stunts in this. You've got two very likeable leads in Sam Elliott and Peter Weller. But unfortunately, this DVD, again, is another one that is really, really bad. I don't know where they got this transfer from. It is very, very rough, and DVD is capable of so much more. It gives DVD a bad name, and that's why I think we need to talk about it. There's literally no extras on this. There's literally nothing on the back. It's pretty much just the film, and that's it. It's a very sort of, standard menu that comes up, and the print is just really rough. And it's a shame, because this is a really solid action film with some of the best stunts you'll ever see. Jack Gill was the main stunt coordinator on this film. There's some cool scenes with a jet plane, and there's a few car chases in here. There's a stunt involving a roller coaster, and there's some good shootout scenes as well. And it's just a real bummer that no one's picked this up. I'm surprised 101 or 88 Films haven't picked this up yet, or even Arrow. I mean, I'm sure it could be in the pipeline because, we're always waiting to see, what the next film is going to be from these boutique labels. And I'm just hoping one day Blue Jean Cop, aka Shakedown, is going to get this treatment someday. I mean, it has to. I mean, if you know what this film is, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just one of those 80s action films that is still stuck on a bad release like this one. Just move these down here. Okay, now the next one is a film from Australia called BMX Bandits, starring a 16-year-old Nicole Kidman. Now, this is one of my all-time favourite childhood favourites. I've watched this film so many times. I remember recording it off BBC One back in the day. And then when this DVD came out in 2005, I was really, really excited to finally have it on disc. But unfortunately, once again, just like some of the other films I've just mentioned, the copy on here, or I'd say the print on here, is just really bad. The black lines above the screen and below the screen, like the widescreen format, the lines are moving about like this. They're not static. They are not straight. There is literally... It just feels like this is just, they took a VHS copy and just ripped it to the disc. And even at one point, when the credits are rolling, you see a bit of VHS fuzzery at the end of it. So it's a very half-assed release. And I know there is some Blu-rays overseas in other countries, but unfortunately here in the UK, we still don't get it. We still haven't got it. And there's no bonus features on here, apart from a photo gallery, but I don't really call that a bonus feature. And it's a real shame because it's a real cult film from the 80s. And like I said, one of the boutique labels, please pick this up. BMX Bandits, it deserves it. I know Nicole Kidman doesn't really talk much about this film. I mean, most people don't want to talk about their early works, but it's very well shot. There's so many good bike stunts with this, with the BMX riders, pedaling around shopping malls and junkyards and all that stuff. It's a real cool stunt film, but once again, it's stuck on a bare bones DVD with a bad picture. And we can follow that up with the next one, and that is 1981's Condor Man, starring Michael Crawford. Yes, Frank Spencer himself was a superhero. Again, another childhood favourite. I've watched this so many times. I saw it many times on TV. And this print is really an abomination. It's an embarrassment to DVD. Like, the picture is so bad. It's literally in full widescreen. It's almost as if they took, like I said, they just took a copy of VHS and just ripped it to the disc. And, the picture just looks terrible. I mean, because there's so many good stunts in this. You've got a very good car chase with Condor Man's transforming car, and there's a boat chase towards the end, and there's lots of good cinematography throughout Europe because they filmed on location in Paris and also throughout Monaco as well. And, to see it, butchered on a real, crappy release is really unfortunate because, with a 4K upgrade or even just a Blu-ray upgrade, this would look fantastic because when films are filmed on location, they look superb. And there hasn't been a reissue of Condor Man, since this was released. I think it was around 2007 or 2008 since I got this, and there's been nothing of it since. And I'm really surprised this isn't on Disney Plus, because if you look down there in the corner, you can see Disney DVD. And I don't know why this is not on Disney Plus. I mean, I don't know if they don't have the rights to it anymore, or if they don't want to show it because they think it's problematic. Who the hell knows? But yeah, Condor Man is another one that needs a better release. Now, the next one, we've got a film starring Sigourney Weaver, and that is Copycat. Now, this is a fantastic psychological thriller, also starring Holly Hunter, and there's some really good performances in this. This is one of Sigourney Weaver's finest performances. She plays a very vulnerable victim who was the victim of a potential serial killer. And I don't want to go too much into it because, I'll probably mention some spoilers here, but there is some hope for this one because, as far as I know, this is still released by Warner Brothers, and there is probably a fair chance that maybe Arrow Video might be able to get the new rights to this one. And the reason I say, because, yeah, it's a great film. There's literally no bonus features on this whatsoever. It is completely bare, and there's nothing to enjoy. There's not even a commentary, no interviews with the cast or crew. We need something. You need to have these great films on disc, but you need extra stuff with them, and that's another reason why I want upgrades for a lot of these films, because there's just nothing on them. I mean, yeah, you can enjoy the film, that's all good, but you just need some bonus features along with it as well. So yeah, Copycat is another one that needs a big release. Now, the next film we're going to talk about is Desperate Measures, starring Michael Keaton and Andy Garcia. Another great action thriller from the 90s. Michael Keaton playing this psychotic maniac who's in prison, and Andy Garcia, who's the detective, has got a son who is terminally ill, but unfortunately the only donor is the psycho killer, Michael Keaton, and they have to get him out of prison, bring him in for the procedure, and then he finds a way to escape. He finds a way to escape, and there's a very good situation where it goes into a very good cat and mouse game, and we get a very good chase thriller with lots of action scenes. And I don't think I've seen Desperate Measures anywhere else. I mean, it's very rarely on television, and this is such a fine thriller from the 90s. And again, there's just no Blu-ray for it, and it's a real shame because you've got two solid performances from two good actors here. And that's the thing worth talking about with some of these films. There's big A-list names in here, and you think that their star power would be enough to get these films upgraded, but unfortunately it's still only on DVD. Now the next one probably doesn't deserve a Blu-ray, but I think it does, and that is Executive Target, starring Michael Madsen, Roy Scheider and Keith David. This is one of those so bad it's good, trashy action films from the 90s. I remember seeing this on Channel 5 back in the day and realised that it's a very silly film with a very ludicrous premise, but what this film does very well is the car stunts. I mean, the car stunts in this are just bonkers. They are just off the chart, and you've got to give it credit for that. But again, very much like Blue Jean Cop, the transfer on this just looks terrible. And I think this is prime. This is a prime film for 101 Films or even 88 Films. They can really, put together a nice release for this. I mean, this was a TV movie originally, so I don't know if TV movies are even on the radar for some of these boutique labels. I mean, they might want to just stick to full motion pictures that were in the cinema. But yeah, Executive Target is another one that, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. It's definitely in that, as I said, the so bad it's awesome, so bad it's silly, so bad it's hilarious type of action film. And yeah, it deserves an upgrade. It truly does. Yeah, the next one is probably a bit familiar to more people, and that is Fortress, starring Christophe Lambert, or Christopher Lambert, however you want to say his name. Another sci-fi action film from the 90s that just is stuck on this DVD. And I think this is from Columbia Pictures, which is Sony. So again, I don't know who can release this again. But again, you've got great cinematography in this, and a real sort of unique look at the future on what prisons might be like with weird technology controlling criminals inside a prison. And there's a lot of potential with this. And I tell you, Fortress is primed for these boutique labels. And again, I don't know why it's not coming out. Like I said, give me some comments down below about any of these films if you know why they haven't had a UK upgrade for Blu-ray or 4K. I've said it already. I'll be more than happy to keep hold of a lot of these DVDs for as long as I can. But as of right now, Fortress still on DVD. And finally, another well-known film, and that is G.I. Jane, starring Demi Moore, and again directed by Ridley Scott. Now, you'd think that with Demi Moore's recent resurgence with The Substance and her career comeback, some of her back catalogue might get sort of reissued, or might get it might get pushed in the queue to sort of get re-released. But again, I don't know who owns the rights to this one. I think it might be someone from Sony. I think it's Lakeshore Pictures. I don't know who they have. But again, you've got star names in this, and G.I. Jane was a big deal when it came out, and it doesn't really get any recognition anymore, considering we're in this sort of girl boss era where we want sort of strong female leads. This one's prime for that, and this is how you do it, where you take a female lead, put it into a very extreme situation, and Demi Moore just absolutely nails it. This is probably her finest film, and it's a shame it's not getting any recognition or any exposure at the moment. It really needs it, and it's literally crying out for a Blu-ray release. So there we go. We got 10 films that I think deserved a Blu-ray release or a 4K release. And yeah, I thought I'd just do a quick fire video about some films that I haven't upgraded because there is no upgrade to be bought, which is a shame. It's a real shame. And I don't know whether any of these will come to pass. I mean, you never know. But that's primarily the reason why DVDs are still on this shelf behind me, because there is no upgrade available. So yeah, we'll leave it there. So yeah, just a quick video here, and don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at rider_rated_18. If you want to be my friend over on Instagram, give me a follow, and we could talk about some more movies over there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube, and like I said, leave the comments down below and tell me what you think about any of these films. So for now, take care, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.